Hi y'all, well my Florida vacation is winding down, but I'm making one more stop before I head back north, and that's right here at Lake Ida. I started my trip here, and we're gonna hit it again on the way home. So let's get this kayak unloaded, go see what we can catch. So the wind is absolutely ripping out here, but it's blowing across this way. So we're gonna launch and try to go to the opposite side of the channel and get out of the wind. All right, away we go. Get our pedals in. Let's get to it. I'm filming this on a Saturday. We're gonna see a lot of jet skis and boats out here. It is what it is. We're gonna try to hide from them and the wind. So I stopped off at the Walmart on the way out here to get us some more worms. I just got us a tub of these live red worms here. I've just got one baited up here on the hook. I'm gonna show you, this is just a simple setup that we're going to be running today. Just a little red worm on a jig head. I had this 1/32 ounce jig head tied on. It's a number 6 size hook, 2-pound test line. Got my trusty ultralight rod here, St. Croix Panfish Series rod. It's 6 foot long, and a Daiwa 1000 size Regal reel. And we're just going to take a stretch of the shoreline. And this area of the lake here, it's just a canal lake, Lake Ida. It's kind of shielded from the wind, at least a little bit. Now it's whipping around through here as it swirls, but for the most part, this area through here has far less exposure than some of the other places we just passed by to get up here. So we're going to take a stretch here. We're going to throw along this retaining wall, along these docks, up under these boats, and just see what we can get with the worm. And then I've also got another rod with me that's got a spoon tied on, and we may very well throw it some out here today too. But we're just going to try to get a variety of species. Those of you that watch this channel regularly, you know I love ultralight fishing. I love just the fight on ultralight tackle. And this particular body of water has the copper-nosed bluegill, which is a larger strain of bluegill that I don't have access to back home, but this is kind of their native area here in South Florida. So Lake Ida has a bunch of them. These canals have a bunch of them, and we're hopefully going to get a bunch of them here as we fish along today. But here's what I'm going to do, y'all. From this point on, I'm just going to leave the camera rolling. I'm going to just go uncut here, unedited for the fishing portion of the day, because I'm not going to fish long. I'm going to do maybe 2 hours, and then I need to get on the road. I've got to try to make as much of the drive today as I possibly can. I've got from Lake Ida to my house is about 12 hours just going continuously without any traffic, any construction, wrecks, etc. And so I'm probably not going to make that whole trip today. I drove it all in one stretch on the way down, but I don't really want to do it on the way back. But I do want to try to get as far north today as I can. I'd like to make it hopefully to Georgia before I pull off for the night, but I definitely can't I can't sit out here and fish all day. That's for sure. So we're just going to do a couple hours here. I dropped my wife off at the airport there in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, whatever it's called. And her flight's, let me see what time, she's already in the air. So she's flying home. She'll be home today before me and you get off the water here. But yeah, I brought the kayak down with me for this trip, so I had to drive, and well, it's a pretty good haul to get down here, but it's been worthwhile. I've had a good time on this trip. I spent one day here on Lake Ida to begin with, then went to Everglades National Park, Then went on down to the Keys, and I've been down there in the Keys for 2 weeks now. And boy, I've had some fun, man, catching all kinds of stuff. A variety of species, some big sharks. It's been a lot of fun. The weather has been pretty much perfect, minus the last 2 days. Yesterday, the wind was blowing so hard they had a small craft advisory, so I didn't get on the water at all yesterday. I just hung out with the wife. Me and her had a day. And then today the wind is still up, but when you get on these canal lakes, like here, Lake Ida, with the houses and all that, you can kind of, oh, I threw right up on that dock. Did you see that? That's a terrible cast. Let me get my camera mount here out of the way. That'll help my cause doing this casting. But when you get back here in these canals, oftentimes you can hide from the wind, kind of get away from it a little bit. Oh, I nailed that dock post. I was trying to cast it up under there. I ain't got my graph on, so I'm not entirely certain how deep it is right here, but honestly don't really care. It's a few feet deep, I'm sure, but main thing is we just gotta cover some water and try to locate some fish. And once we get on them, business will pick up right here. But we gotta get on them first. We're gonna make some casts and try to do that. I'm 5 minutes in, ain't got a bite, so y'all, I stopped off at the Walmart on the way out here and got us a tub of worms, just these live red worms here. And I've got one on. Let me put the camera in the chest here. I'm gonna show you the rig and we're gonna start casting. I've brought us up here to an area that's kind of shielded from the wind with the way it's blowing right now. So we're gonna try to fish right here. But this is the tackle, man, basic and simple. Just a jig head. That's a 1/32 ounce size with a number 6 hook. Of course, got the worm on there. 2-pound test line on my St. Croix Panfish Series rod. It's 6 foot long, ultralight action. Got a Daiwa 1000 size reel. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna take a stretch of the shoreline on this wind protected area and we're gonna throw at everything. We're gonna throw at the dock here, up under these boats, along the retaining wall. We're gonna throw at everything down through here and hopefully run into a variety of species. I'd like to get some exotics. I really want to get some of them big copper-nosed bluegill. They are a larger strain of bluegill. They're native to Florida here, but I just don't have them back home. They're not something that we have. So they get much bigger than the northern strain bluegill. And I want to get some of those. Wouldn't mind getting some peacock bass. I'd like to get a little bit of everything today, but we got to do it fast. I'm going to fish maybe 2 hours here, and then I need to get on the road. So here's what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to leave the camera rolling. I'm going to leave it going here. From this point on, we're just going to go kind of uncut, unedited. Just let you all see a real fishing trip here as I do some exploring and make some casts and hopefully catch some fish, and you might see some snags and who knows what else here too. Good news is, if you're seeing this video, it means we got on some fish, and probably several of them. Maybe some big ones, who the heck knows. But I'm just gonna roll with it here for a couple hours, and then I gotta head north, man. I dropped my wife off at the airport on the way up here. Oh crap, I threw over that dock. Did you see that? Let's try to make a better cast on this one. My wife's her plane's probably in the air by now, but I dropped her off and then she flew down, I drove with the kayak. So, oh, fish. Oh, I had one right there. I had one. Another terrible cast. Y'all better get your casting skills together here today, folks. If we're gonna catch a fish, I'm gonna need you all to do the casting. You know me being an old catfisherman, casting ain't my strong point, but what have we done with the worm? How did you all get a knot tied in the worm around the hook? We off to a hell of a start. This is the thing about these unedited, uncut videos. You never know what the hell you're gonna see. And usually, it ain't stuff that makes me look good or competent. Oh my God, I threw up over the top of that dock again. That duck's over there laughing at me, you hear him? I give up trying to cast under this one, folks. I'm giving up on it. We're gonna move on to the next one. If y'all ain't gonna take this rod and do some casting for me, we ain't gonna have a bit of a chance getting up under there. There's plenty more stuff down. Oh, I done threw the worm off too. I either threw it off or something ate him down there and knocked him off. Either way, he's gone. Let's get us a new worm. These fish don't know I'm in a hurry today, do they? They don't know I need to get on the road. I got at least 12 hours of driving, and that's without traffic, construction, wrecks, you name it. You know how it is. Okay. About 5th time's the charm there. I got that one way up under there. If there's a fish under that dock, we're gonna catch him on that cast. This one right here is gonna be that's the ticket, man. We got that way up under there. Oh, I got one too. He was swimming out with it. I go to pick up on it and he's there. Let's see what we got. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna be excited for all of it. Oh, what's a big bluegill. Oh, buddy, look at this. Man, oh man, look at this thing, y'all. Look how tall he is. Oh. He's wound too, ain't he? Let me bust out this measuring board. Let's just throw him on there real quick. If he'll cooperate, which I doubt he's going to. Yes, look at that. 9 1/4 right there, man. 9 1/4 inch bluegill. That is so awesome, man. That is so awesome. Here, let's put your measuring board up there. That way we'll have easier access to it. Let's get another worm and try to get another cast under that dock, man. That right there, folks, 9 1/4 inches on a bluegill. You know, back home, we've got the northern strain. I get some 8-inchers throughout the year, and occasionally I'll bust a 9-incher. Once in a blue moon, I'll get a 10-inch. But down here, them copper nose, hell, I think they hatch out of the egg at about 8 inches. I mean, seriously, every one of them you catch down here is over 8 inches. I mean, that's a minimum. And that, man, that's an awesome bluegill. That's an awesome fight. On ultralight tackle, we're gonna get one on that cast too. That cast, I got it up under there. We're gonna get one on it. I guarantee you that bluegill ain't alone under there. He's got a friend or two with him. I think we got one on right here. Is he coming at us? No, I felt a little tap, but he didn't have it. Now I've made another lousy cast. This is a damn comedy show, me trying to cast over that camera mount, but under the dock. Y'all gonna be making fun of me, but that's the norm. But no, I just wanted to stop off here and hit this one more time. I love it down here. I wish the wind was a little bit more cooperative so we could kind of fish some, oh, fish, he thumped it. Oh, let's see what we got. Oh, another big one. Oh, it's another big one. Look at this. Get up here. My gosh. Look how tall it is. This thing Let me get that worm out the way. Look at that, man. Oh, I wish you'd calm down 3 notches, fish. 3 notches. Oh, come here. Come here. Hey, act like somebody. If you've never been on camera before, you need to learn how to act. Look at that. I mean, that's my hand. Look how tall he is. Man, that's awesome, y'all. He's wound up too, ain't he? He just don't want to cooperate for nothing. Lay on that board for 2 seconds. He's shy 9 inches, just by a hair. Got a little orange on his tail there too. Ornery devil. All right, let's get us another worm. He threw most of that worm off. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'd like to be fishing some other spots that I have found that were, productive spots. Big bluegill, big cichlids, stuff like that. But out here today with the wind blowing 20 plus, when it gusts, we got to kind of stay shielded out here to be able to ultralight fish and have any chance of feeling the bite. So we're going to kind of be just kind of working around the wind and focusing on some of these areas that I either haven't fished before or just haven't fished much, haven't put much time into. But there's fish, man. There's fish all over out through here. So we're going to get our share of them. And I really can't complain about the wind blowing today because for the most part, this trip has been perfect weather. Yesterday they had the small craft advisory. I couldn't get on the water at all. But for the most part, man, it's been everything I could have hoped for and more on this trip. So I ain't gonna. I'm a griper and a complainer by nature, but I ain't gonna do it out here today with this wind. We're just gonna work around it and catch our fish. It'd probably be easier actually if I go on the other side of this dock. I don't think it's gonna be as close to the water for me to cast over there on the other side. Let's try that. We'll see if we can. It seems like if we get up under there, we're going to get bit. Yeah, look at it right there. This will be better right here. Let me throw it right there. Yeah, that's going to be easier to access. Should have done that to begin with. Now watch us not catch nothing. All right, let's try over there again. I'm using that 1/32 ounce jig head because, well, that's what I had tied on. Now, when I was out here on the way down, I used 1/64 ounce, which is going to give it a slower fall rate. And it had a smaller hook as well. The size of the hook ain't a big deal on on the size of the fish we're catching and all. What is that on our? Lord, we got a shell on there. We catching everything, folks. We're catching some fish, catching some snails, catching it all. But the size of the hook, I mean, these fish are big enough to eat a number 6 hook, but the fall, the weight of the jig head as it sinks down, the slower the better, in my opinion. But today, with the wind kind of whipping around, blowing a little bit, we're probably going to be better off sticking with the 1/32, as long as we're catching fish with it. If we just go a long spell, we're not catching anything, I'll certainly mix things up. But as long as we're catching fish with it, we're gonna roll with it. Let's move on down to this next dock. This one here just ain't being as productive as I would like. I'm gonna make a cast here just randomly. I caught some fish in between the docks a couple weeks ago, on my way down out here, just throwing the worm and just letting it sit there, and there's just fish randomly. Of course, there's all kinds of these drainage pipes too that comes out from these houses. They'll have, when the water ain't so murky, you can see them. There's actually some right over here. You see over there in that retaining wall, the pieces of PVC that comes out. So there's pipes that runs out there, and I think it gives these fish something to relate to down there. Not all of these pipes are going to have something on them, but some of them will. And of course, there's just a ton of docks out here as well. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to throw at, even in these kind of wind protected areas that we need to focus on. This dock here, it looks promising too, because it's pretty big. It's got a big surface area there for fish to get up under. So I'm going to get over here on the side of it. Oh, did you see that? Something just nipped our worm. He followed it up and nipped it right there. I don't know what it was though. But he done robbed us. Call the law. Actually, you know what? Don't call the law. I've had my fill of the police down here. After me getting that ticket for backing into a stop sign, which just happened to be right in front of a cop when I done it. I've had my fill of the police down here in South Florida, man. Got me a $166 ticket for that experience. Shout out to one of my channel members, well, two of them actually, Will and Lynn Loy. They sent me some cash after hearing my experience with the ticket. So they're covering my ticket down here. Very nice of the Loys to do that. Big time supporters of my channel. I've got some awesome channel members, y'all. I really do. They treat me right. Got to meet one of them while I was down here. Met up with a fella named Ryan. I don't know if he wants me to tell his last name or not, so I'll leave that out. But nice fella from Texas. Him and his family was here on vacation, and I had made a channel members video. I do extra channel members videos, just behind the scenes stuff, sometimes on the water, just sometimes around my house, you know, just kind of let my channel members, my biggest supporters, kind of know what's going on, where I'm going to be, etc. And I had, on one of them videos there, I had mentioned that I was going to be down here, and if any of my channel members was either living down here or on vacation or something while I was in town, hit me up and we'll go out and fish together. And so Ryan, him and his family had planned on coming down here, and so he hit me up, and we ended up going out and spending a day shark fishing, and both of us got some sharks, so it was a good day. We had a good time. I enjoyed it. I'm not much of a people person, but he was a good fella. He's somebody I could jive with, you know, somebody I could get along with, kind of like me, so it worked out. So him and I fished together, and him and his family, oh, I got thumped. Got him. Oh, this is a little better one here. This is a little better one. I don't know what this is. I don't know. This don't feel like a bluegill. I don't know what he is. I want him to get away from that dock, though. Okay, there he comes. He's swimming out now. I don't know what this is. This don't feel, it don't feel like a bluegill. Oh, what is that? What is that, folks? I didn't get a look at him. He just come up splashing. I don't know what it is. Is it a bass? Surely it's not a bass. He'd have made more jumps if it was a bass. He ain't fighting like a peacock. I don't have a clue what this is. I hope he don't come off. He did come up splashing, but I just didn't get a look at him. Y'all may have seen him better than I did. I don't know what this is. If he's got teeth, we might be in trouble here on this 2-pound line as long as the fight is taken. We're gonna bust out the net on him though, that's for sure. He's gonna be too big for me to just boat lift him up on a 2-pound line. What is this? Is it a clown? Is it a clown knife fish? That would be awesome if it is. I've caught 2 of these before. If that's what it is. Oh, hellfire, we'll never know. Dang. I don't know what it was. I just didn't get a good enough look at it to know. Hopefully when he come up and thrashed, hopefully my hand or arm or something wasn't in the way, and maybe we can do some slow motion or something, do some freeze frame, I don't know what you call it, you know what I'm trying to say, and be able to discern what it was. Dang, man. All right, let's get another jig head here. This is, again, these cheap Walmart 1/32 ounce. Let's tie that on. It seems to be working out for us. Now we're going to get this tied on, and we'll go back over here to this dock, and maybe whatever that fish was, maybe they're a schooling fish, and maybe we can do it again. Like I was saying though, I've caught 2 clown knife fish before. One of them I got the first time I fished down here in South Florida. It's been a few years. I got on a live shiner. Then the following year, I got one on an artificial lure. I got it on a crappie magnet, just a white and chartreuse crappie magnet on a jig head. So I've got one on live bait and one on artificial, and that's been the only clown knife fish I've ever caught. It's just those 2. They're in here though. I see pictures of them regularly on social media, and people fishing down here in these canals and stuff. So they're in here. They're technically an invasive species. All of these exotic fish, I guess you'd call them. They're all invasive, with the exception of peacock bass. Now, peacock bass are not native, but the state of Florida, my understanding is, stocked the peacock bass as a way of trying to combat the other exotic fish species. And what happens, people buy these exotic fish, they're aquarium pets. They outgrow their tank, they let them go. Well, down here in Florida, a lot of the exotic fish that people have as aquarium pets, they thrive in this kind of environment. So what ended up happening is those fish bred, and they've kind of populated and taken over and made it hard on some of the native species in these waterways. So the state of Florida, they started stocking peacock bass as a way to try to keep control of the exotic fish populations. So technically, peacock bass are an invasive species themselves, a non-native species, but they were the chosen ones to be here. But these other exotic species, the cichlids, the Oscars, the clown knife fish, I mean, they're all amazing. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to catch. They're amazing fights, especially on ultralight tackle. So I'm happy they're here personally. I enjoy them. I don't know if everybody is, but I mean, a lot of times. Boy, that was a good cast right there. If there's another fish up under there, we're going to get it on that one. But you know, usually when I see people on social media posting their catches from vacation trips and whatnot coming down here, they're not holding up bluegill or crappie or largemouth bass. They're holding up these peacocks or the cichlids or clown knife fish. Like, they're prize catches. You can catch bass and bluegill and all that. I mean, we can't get these copper-nosed bluegill back home, but the other freshwater species you can get. There comes Rover. Hi. Lord, we may have to be social today here. We're gonna move on anyway. If we don't catch another fish. Oh, threw that worm right back at us. He's going in over there. Let me make one more cast right there around that pole, see what happens. But anyway, you know, these exotic species, they fight hard, they look cool. There's something that outside of a body of water like this, hell, would never have a chance to get them. I mean, I'm probably never gonna go to I don't even know where a lot of these fish originally come from, honestly, probably some kind of tropical environment, but the odds of me ever getting to go and fish where cichlids are just native, well, I'll probably never do that. But down here, I get my chance to play with them, get a tug on the line. So let's fix our worm here. When I launched that thing back at me, he got all wrapped up in the hook there. Let's make a cast or two right here on the edge of these lily pads too. I hate that we lost whatever that was. It was long. It looked like a long fish, so that would either be like a clown knife. Could have been a bowfin maybe. Do they have bowfin down here? Could have been a snakehead maybe. Bowfin, snakehead, those are longer fish. I don't know. That's one of the things about using ultralight tackle is a fish have a chance. They've got a chance to get away. You're not going to land everything. It's not like going bass fishing and you got 50-pound braid. When you jerk that hook, you've got the fish wrangled in 30 seconds. To me, that just ain't no fun. I want something that's going to pull a little bit. And unfortunately, when they get to pull, sometimes they're going to pull loose, or they're going to break your line, or they're going to wrap you around something you can't get undone from. That's part of the game, man. It's part of the challenge of it. That's part of the fun. That's part of what keeps you coming back for it. Is that a fish? Oh, that is a fish. I had cast over there on the side of that dock. Let's see what this one is. All right, that's another bluegill. We're going to land this one, looks like. Goodness gracious, I'm just blown away at the size of these things, man. I absolutely love them. Love them. He left us the worm on too. Very courteous fish right there. Very courteous. That fish has got manners. His parents, they deserve to be commended for teaching that fish the life lessons they have that's allowed him to be so generous and leave that worm on the hook. Well, let's make another cast or two up here. Like I said, they could be fish anywhere down through here, and all the way down through here, really. But we're gonna kind of take our time. I ain't no rush, really. I'm in a rush to get out of here today and get back on the road. But as far as like any piece of cover, any dock or anything, we can kind of take our time if we think there's. Right here, we got another one. We can kind of just take our time and pick it apart if we get on them. Get on a school. I don't know what. Oh, I think that's an exotic of some kind right here. Let me get the net on him. Yeah, this is one of the, I believe this is one of them cichlids right here. I believe that's what they are. Oh, buddy, that's a good one too. Here, let me get this. Let me get that camera turned on right there. Y'all bear with me a second here. I do want to get a picture or two of some of these fish. Especially when you get one like this. He got teeth. I can't remember if he's got teeth or not. They got a rough place in their mouth right there, but I think we'll be okay putting our thumb in it. I'm gonna hold this one up here for you in a second. Let me get my, hold on a second. I gotta get my forceps out of here. He got it just deep enough. I need the forceps to get it out. Nice, I am happy to get this, man. These exotics, invasive species. The state of Florida may not want them here, but personally, again, I'm happy they are. Let's get our fishing pole out the way. I'm gonna hold him up here for you, and then I'm gonna get me a picture of him. Look at that, folks. Nice. I mean, he's got some size to him too. Here, let's get that camera right there going. All right, we'll see you, buddy. Now he gone. Get that back out of the way. Let me get my towel here and dry my hands off. We say we go over there. Hey, let's go back over there and make another cast. What do you say? That was fun. That was fun right there. He left our worm on too. None of these fish, none of them want that worm. We're gonna get our money's worth out of this one. We might get another fish on it. He ate it right in front of that boat. So let's just go over here and try to cast in that same area again. But I mean, you see the size of that fish right there. I mean, he's thick too, and you get one of those on this ultralight. It's fun, man. I love it down here. I wish I could spend all winter here, honestly. That's what I wish. I wish I could just come down here from about November-ish, say Thanksgiving, through about late March. I'd like to come down here. And then go home to Tennessee for the spring and the summer. That would be, what a life that would be. I'd have so much fun fishing down here all winter long. If I had some like real time to dedicate to a body of water like this where I could kind of pick it apart. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm learning a lot. Every time I come down here, I'm learning more. You know, like this year, we're trying out the worms. Super productive bait. Not only for the bluegill, but also, too, for the exotics. But if I had some serious time to put in to a place like this, I could get it dialed in and kind of know what areas hold what species. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing just comes with time and experience, but it's hard to get a lot of experience when you get 1 or 2 trips per year. And too, just always, you know, I've only fished down here kind of in the November or January is the only time I've ever fished down here. And oftentimes, well, even today, we've got this frontal system coming in. It's brought all this wind and stuff. You can see it's cloudy. I think they're supposed to get some rain down here tonight. If you only fish 1 or 2 days per year on a particular body of water, and maybe the conditions aren't ideal when you go, well, you can still learn stuff, but it's hard to dial in patterns and whatnot with such limited experience. So I'm just trying to trying to learn what I can while I'm down here. But man, if I had me a solid month, or I could fish a few days a week, man, I'd get this place dialed in. Oh, I got hit. I reckon we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from this dock after this cast. Let me switch out our worm there. I think something bit off part of our worm. Let me get that. Put us on a new worm and let's move on down. These red worms that's in this tub are pretty fat and juicy. Them some good worms. Them Walmart worms always hit or miss. You never know if you're gonna go in there and they're gonna have good quality worms like you got, or if every tub's gonna have them little baby worms. I always open them up and take a look just to make sure they ain't dead or whatnot. But sometimes you go through 10 tubs and they'll all be small worms. But it is good to know too. That was another question I had after the other day when I tried out the worm. I brought the worms from home on the way down because I didn't know if you could even buy worms down here at the bait shops or at the Walmarts. But the Walmarts do have worms. They've got saltwater baits too, like frozen mullet and things like that. But they do have a refrigerator with the worms, just like the Walmarts back home. So it's good to know for the future. I won't necessarily have to pack worms to bring them down here. I did try them in the saltwater. I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but I knew there was fish where I was at, and they just weren't interested in the worms. I switched back over to the shrimp, started catching them. So that was one of those things. I'm like, can you catch fish on worms in saltwater? I don't know. Maybe some species will hit it. But it was one of those things I just wanted to experiment it and try and just see what would happen. And yeah, that was one of them things. You try it and it just didn't work out for me that day. But I still caught a bunch of fish. I done that on video too, by the way. That should have been 2 videos ago or 3 videos ago for regular viewers. It was the last unedited trip I done. I was ultralight fishing in this canal system on down in, I think I was in Little Torch Key or Big Pine Key, somewhere down through there. There's a little it's a free to use boat ramp, and it's in a canal system. Fish. Right here in front of this wall. Another bluegill. Oh, another big one. Come here, buddy. This was nice bluegill. He's probably the weakest fighting one of the fish that we've caught thus far, though. The mothers have set the bar high for you fish. You have underwhelmed me with your performance. He said he's underwhelmed with me too. I love them. But yeah, I went down and put in there at that boat ramp, and it was it puts you in this little tiny canal, and there's all kinds of houses down through there and docks and stuff. People keep their boats, but it eventually leads out to the ocean. But in that canal system, there's just a ton of life. I mean, bunches of snappers, grunts, small barracuda, other species. I have no idea what they are. I mean, just all kinds of life in there. And when you're I was throwing shrimp. I had some live shrimp, and I mostly just cut them up in pieces and throw them out. But shrimp in saltwater is like a worm or a minnow in freshwater. It's just the bottom of the food chain. Everything's going to eat it. And so I was catching a bunch of fish just all along through them canals. And you go through some areas where they'd really be schooled up, and other areas you'd kind of not so much. just like everywhere else. But man, there was a ton of life in there. And I went out there for a couple hours, and it was on my wife's birthday. I went out. She was sleeping in, so I went out and had me a time, man. I'll tell you this too, this might be interesting to some of you that are thinking about traveling down here or vacationing down here, whatever. Oh, I had one. Something thumped me and he wasn't there. Wonder if he got our worm. I'm gonna let it sit there a second. He come back for it. He come back for it. Is it another bluegill? It is too. Big ugly one right here. Big old ugly thing. Come here, good buddy. Let's see that worm. We may get that thing back. Yep, we sure are. Nice. I mean, every one of these bluegill, let's put on a different worm right there. That one's, let's just get a different one. But every one of these bluegill, man, they're all hand sized. They're all just, every bluegill down here is the size of what my best bluegill at home would be. I mean, the average catch here is what my best bluegill of the year would be back home. It's incredible. But anyway, what I was about to say, for those of you coming down vacation and whatnot, maybe you got your family, wife, kids, whatever with you, and you're needing some activities to do aside from just you going fishing. Me and my wife, on her birthday, we went to a place called the Theater of the Sea, and it's in Isla Mirada, down there in the Keys, and it's like a zoo slash amusement park. I don't even know what classification you would call it necessarily, but they have wild animals there. A lot of rehabbed animals, like turtles that have been hit by boats and stuff, and can't go back out in the wild because they've got what's called bubble butt. That's an actual diagnosis, by the way, bubble butt. But sometimes these sea turtles will get hit by boats out in the ocean, and it will cause like an air bubble under their shell, and it causes them to not be able to float right and not be able to dive back down. So these rehab centers and turtle hospitals and stuff, they have come up with these weighted vests that they put on these turtles, and it allows them to be able to kind of swim normal, but they can't go back out in the wild. So anyway, places like Theater of the Sea, you can go up and kind of get close to them, and they'll so many times a day they'll do a little show where they go out there, they bring the turtles to them and feed them and stuff. So, and everything kind of flows. So we were there like 2.5 hours, I guess, just going to all these shows. And so it starts out there at the turtle show. You get to go up and hear about the turtles and see them eat and stuff. And then you go over to the alligator area, and they had rescued 2 alligators. One was apparently at a shop down here at some point in time. I forget how long they had it. But it was a situation where a store had this alligator, and they would charge people $1 to feed it a hot dog, and that's all the alligator was eating was hot dogs. So it was very malnourished apparently when the Theater of the Sea got it. And then they had another one that was it was somebody's pet. They had it in a bathtub, and it had outgrown the bathtub, and they had to do something with it, so it ended up down there. But they told us about those alligators, and they did a little feeding session with those. You got to see that. And then you go over to these birds, like they have these parrots, macaws or whatever, and they've got them trained to do stuff, do tricks and whatnot, and that was pretty cool. And then fish. Well, that one was out here in front of that dock too. I had worked that back out a good ways Boy, he's fighting like a Dickens, whatever he is. This one's a lot better fight than the other one there that I talked smack about. This fish here, he heard I was judging the other fish for being a poor fighter. He said he'll show me. Oh, look at this. Look how big this one is. Nice, buddy. Look how thick. Just look how thick it is. All of these bluegill, man, they've got some meat on them, buddy. Nice. Give me a hook back. There we go. He wasn't coming free, was he? Here, I want to get just another picture up fast. If y'all will bear with me. I'll hold him that way so y'all can see him. Nice, buddy. All right. Let's send him out of here. Get our camera back out of the way. Now let's go over here and throw that worm in front of that dock again. So anyway, that Theater of the Sea, like every 15, 30 minutes, you're on to the next show. And once we got done with the birds, well, actually, I'm sorry, after the alligators, we went, they had this lagoon, had some nurse sharks and some stingrays they were able to feed. That was probably the least enjoyable session, was the nurse sharks and the stingrays. But then you go over to the dolphins that they had rescued, and they've got them trained to do stuff, and like they do these tricks, and they've got this girl in there swimming with them, and the dolphins throwing her up in the air and doing all these tricks and stuff, and she's surfing on the dolphins. Like, it was incredible, absolutely incredible. And we were very close too. I mean, we were able to get, like, you were in the splash zone basically when these things would come flying up and crashing down. It was amazing. And then the end of the show was the sea lions. And they've got them trained to do tricks too, which I ain't telling them how to run their business down there. We got another fish right here tapping. Got him. Boy, that one was way out from the dock too. I may need to back us up a little bit. Cast right there. This one here is probably going to be he's a dang nice one, but he's the smallest one so far, I think. This might actually be let's try and see if he's a northern strain. This might actually be a northern strain. I can't tell. Well, I can't tell. It's either a northern strain or like a cross between the copper nose and the northern. But they should have done the sea lions part of the show before the dolphins, because the dolphins were so amazing. Anything else after that was going to be kind of a letdown, you know what I mean? Like, once you've had the main event, you can't go back to the mid card, right? Like, there's a reason why most shows they do the finale. The best wrestling match is always at the end of the card, you know. But the overall show, Theater of the Sea, it's the only place that we've been down here in South Florida where we felt like we got our money's worth. Like, it was the tickets to get in, it was $50, $49.99 per person plus tax. So I think it was like $110 was the bill for me and her. But I mean, we were in there. Oh, I just got thumped. Fish. Boy, they're out here in front of this dock. We're on a school of them right here, man. What is this? Oh, this is another species right here. I don't know what this is. He just flung our worm off. Act like somebody. He don't know how to act. He don't even know what he is. I'm going to get him out unhooked here. I want to get a look at him. Oh, easy, easy. Show yourself off here on camera, would you? I don't know what you... Oh! I guess he's probably some kind of cichlid. I don't know. Don't knock my worms over now, you old fish. Get out of here. Get out. If you're going to act that way, get on out of here. Danged old fish. I just wanted to look at you. But yeah, $110 for her and I to go. We were there like 2.5 hours. I mean, it was by the time you walk to each portion and they do their little show for 15-30 minutes, like it's an experience. And we both really enjoyed it. Like it was a fun time. And that's the one place down here that we've done anything, and I felt like it was a good value. Like, well, we actually got our money's worth. The restaurants, I mean, we've ate at a bunch of different restaurants while we were on vacation. Every one of them, you just walk out of there feeling like you got ripped off fish. Oh, did he just break us off, or did he steal our bait? He just broke us off. Lord Almighty, y'all, we just got, that fish wanted a souvenir, I reckon. He got the whole jig and everything. All right. Well, we got a whole pack of them. Put another one on. Y'all gonna be sitting here. Who would have ever thought you'd be sitting here watching me, watching me tie on a new jig head? This is tantalizing TV, I know, but this is part of fishing, buddy. This is when I do these unedited, uncut videos. This is part of what you're going to see, because it's just, what are they doing right here? I mean, literally coming right here to do their tubing right here beside me. This is where I would make a comment about a woman driver, but I'm going to piss off all you wives and girlfriends out there watching the program. It blows my mind that in these canals and these small canal lakes, you will see these boats out here. In that case, pulling a tube. Saw some jet skis when I first launched. People running 100 miles an hour down these little tiny canals. Like, I feel like these canals and small lakes, they ought to be horsepower restricted. Like, you shouldn't be running jet skis 70 miles an hour through canals that are, I know I sound like old man yelling at the clouds. I'm that guy. But, you're running 70 miles an hour through a canal that's 10 foot wide. Like it just ain't. I know how I sound. I'm going to shut up. I know how I sound. I sound like an old man yelling at clouds. Talking about safety and stuff. Nobody wants to hear that. But it's the damn truth, and if you get out here fishing, you can't do nothing, because people out there are blowing by you on jet skis, and here they come again over here. We need a rig with about a 3-ounce sinker tied on, and when they get close enough, we'd knock a hole in that fiberglass. That'd show them. I'm trying to be better than that, folks. I'm trying to be a better person down here. Sometimes Floridians bring out the worst in me, but I'm trying to be better. So anyhow, Theater of the Sea, to finish that topic, amazing. We enjoyed it, good value. It'd be a great thing if you got a wife and kids, you need something to do. It was awesome. Everywhere else we've been, it's, and like the restaurants and stuff, I'm not saying the food's been bad, like it's been okay, but what you're paying for it, I mean, meals back home that would be, I mean, her and I ain't exactly eating fancy. I mean, you go in a place, you get a burger or Philly cheesesteak, something like that, and fries. Back home, it's $12, $15, for sandwich and fries, whatever. Maybe if you're at a nicer place back home, hell, you might have a $20 burger. But down here, or once you get down in the Keys, man, all of them restaurants, even just like the kind of, I don't know how you'd rank them, well, 1 star or whatever, not fancy, you know, not a fancy establishment, but every place, you're looking at $20 for a damn hamburger. Then the fries are usually extra, so I mean, we've spent, me and her to combine, at least $50 on every meal that we eat, and we've only been eating out dinner, fish. So I mean, the food is ridiculous down in the Keys, but Theater of the Sea, oh, here's another one of those, whatever these are. I don't know what these things are. They are cool looking fish. They're pretty colorful. Oh, well, you ain't gonna get a good look at him, are you? The last one was like that too. They just didn't want you looking at them. I don't know why they gotta have that kind of attitude. Where'd that tuber go? I guess they went back to the lower part of the lake. It's a little bit bigger and more open down there, but still it ain't very big on the lower section. I'll tell you, I did have one good boating experience down in the Keys. So if I put in behind where we were staying and go up about 2 miles, I could get to a bridge with a deeper channel. And I caught some sharks up there. Well, in order to get up there, I got to go through this stretch. It's probably half a mile long of this tiny canal. I mean, it's enough for 2 boats to get by barely. And the first time I went up that way on this trip, I was trolling a barracuda tube behind me. And this is all on video too. It's a rerun here for those of you who've been watching the Florida series. But anyway, he's barreling down through there. I hook a barracuda. I end up losing the fish as he goes by. Well, 5 minutes later, he turns around, he comes back again, and he swamps me. He was going just fast enough to put off a big awake as possible. And he swamps me. Well, I posted the clip of that on Facebook. And it went viral. It's got, last I looked here, like 1.7 million views, last I looked. And nice little payday. So after I posted that, when I fished with Ryan, I told him, I said, we're gonna cut through that canal and we're gonna hope about 5 more boats swamp me. just to get the payday from it. Who would have ever thought some crap like that would go viral on Facebook? But sure enough, man, I ain't even been back in the comments on there, but I mean, it had a ton of comments. I guess people just arguing back and forth, who's in the right, who's in the wrong. I'm gonna argue with this fish as I really mean. But yeah, that daggone thing went viral, man. Facebook just blows my mind at the crap on there that people watch and do. And yeah, I'm all for it if it'll put a few extra dollars in my pocket and I've got to put up with people's nonsense out there anyway. Hell, I might as well get paid for it. That right, Bluegill. Bluegill says he don't need no money. He said it don't cost him a dime to eat. He just goes out there and catches his food, don't he? Let's try to throw up under that dock. Boy, I skipped it up under there real good. We're gonna catch something on that. You watch and see if we don't catch something on that one right there. I felt something tap me just then. Another tap. I got tapped twice. Got him. Got him on the 3rd try. He hit it twice. I knew we were getting one on that cast. Let's get him up here, see what he is. Oh, this is another exotic. It's another, I saw the stripes on him. Let me get our net over here. Oh, he's big too. He's big. Let me steer him back over here. Crap. One of y'all net this fish for me, would you? He's still taking line. I got to reel down a little more to him to get him over here. Now let's get him. Oh, buddy, this is a good one. This is a good, get that net. Yes. Yes, look at this, folks. Look at this. Man, is that cool or what? Holy cow. One of my channel members was talking about like records and stuff of these exotic fish, and it's like, hell, I can't even identify these things. If we ever caught a record, I wouldn't even know it. Here, let me get that front camera going again. Let me get that going again. We're gonna get another picture there. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Oh, 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 crap. He wasn't having no picture with me, was he? Dang. Well, we tried, folks. We tried. We gave it the college try there. He wasn't doing no picture with us. Right out of my hands before I could smile for the camera. That's a good one though, man. He was fun. Well, let's put another worm. I'm gonna throw over here on this dock again. This dock right here, buddy, it's got some fish. We've caught several of them on there, both the bluegill and these exotics. I guess they all just hanging out together down there, coexisting. They're kind of, the bluegill and whatever those are, they are comparable size. And they probably, truth be told, they probably eat the same things too. I mean, they obviously both like worms. I was told, and the reason I hadn't tried worms before this year was I was told, don't bother. Don't waste your time with it, because you ain't gonna catch the fish on the worms down here. But we've done real good this time. But I've only caught one peacock bass on the worms. And I think maybe that's probably what people were referring to in the past when I've asked about worms and stuff, is the peacocks. And the peacock that I caught on the worm, I was reeling it in. It wasn't like it was just sitting there and he ate it. It was like actively moving as I was reeling it in, and he hit it. So worms probably aren't the ideal bait for peacocks, but for other stuff down here, the bluegill, the other exotic species, I wouldn't be shocked if we got some largemouth bass today too, potentially. Lord knows they'll eat a worm. I'm just gonna let that thing sit there a second. We're kind of in a good spot here with the wind. The way it's blowing, like this whole corner, we're gonna fish right through here, this whole corner. We can really work this area through here and not be blown around very much. It's just hard when you're ultralight fishing and you're using light line, light jig heads. It's oftentimes when the wind's blowing, it's hard to feel the bites, because you get the wind will blow a bow in your line and you just can't feel anything. And on top of that too, in a kayak, you kind of get blown around a little bit, and especially this one. I'm in the Hobie Lynx, which I love this thing. It's great in the ocean. But the downside of it is that it does get blown around in the wind very easily. So having a place like this that's kind of wind protected is very, very helpful. Not only for the ultralight fishing, but also for the vessel that we're in. Now, the fellow I fished with, my channel member Ryan there, he had a Hobie Lynx as well. He said that I sold him on it, watching my videos. He had a Old Town kayak, And he said he had ripped his bicep while unloading it. Had to have surgery. So he was wanting a lighter kayak and had seen me using the Lynx, and so he got it and he loved it too. It's just so lightweight, it's easy to maneuver, easy to load and unload. If you got to drag it across the sand, or in today's case, let me tell you this. So last year when I was down here on vacation, I had this kayak and I parked in the boat ramp parking lot and used the boat ramp. Well, I get back at the end of the day and there's a cop over there, and he's in the process of writing me a ticket. Oh, I had a bite. He was in the process of writing me a ticket for parking in the boat ramp parking lot. And he said, this is for boats only in here. And I'm like, well, I'm in a kayak, but I mean, I'm using the boat ramp. He said, don't matter, you don't have a trailer. And I said, well, but I'm using the boat ramp. Why can't I park in the boat ramp parking lot? And great, look, I get it, right? Like if it's a busy day and you've got, I don't know how many spaces they've got for trailers there, 20 or 30 probably, but like if all them spaces were full and people were parking vehicles that didn't have trailers, I could understand giving tickets or raising a fuss over it, right? Because people with trailers wouldn't have room to park. There was like 2 or 3 vehicles with trailers there that day last year. Like you had 20 plus open spaces. And out here today, I parked over at the dog park section. Almost all of those spaces were full. Meanwhile, the boat ramp, there ain't but 2 or 3 people out there that's got trailers. I could have parked there, parked closer to the water, and freed up space for the dog park. But I'm going to get a ticket if I do it. So I just park there at the dog park, unload the kayak, walk it down, launch it there on the side of the water. Oh, fish. Well, we got another one here. He's headed back over there to that dock. Let's back up a little bit. Let's see what this one is. Man, there are so many fish right here in front of this dock. I don't know what's keeping them all here. Maybe they come out and feed them or something. There's a little bench up there and some lights. I wonder if they don't maybe feed these fish or something. Either way, there's a lot of fish here. This is this one here that's either a hybrid or a northern strain bluegill? They don't look like the copper nose, but man, let me put him on the board. I mean, if that's a northern strain, that's a good one, buddy. He's got some orange there on his fin. I wonder if it ain't like a hybrid. Either way, he's 8 3/4, which is an awesome bluegill. Look how tall he is too. Man, I love this. I could totally, I mean, if this place was closer, I would be here all the time. All the time, man. I love this place. Let me hook another worm. We're gonna get over here and do it again. So yeah, anyway, that dang cop, man. They're just hell-bent on writing tickets down here for everything. Like me backing into that stop sign. I didn't cause no damn damage to the stop sign. I didn't even cause any damage to my kayak. He wrote me a ticket. $166. That fellow last year trying to write me a ticket there for parking in the boat ramp parking lot when there's there's no trailers there. Like I'm like, man, y'all got to be making some money down here in the state of Florida just on tourism. Fishing licenses, hotels, restaurants. Like, you're getting enough out of us when we come down here already. You know what I mean? Like, cut us a break here. They're going to get every last penny out of you, I reckon, though. I've still, despite it all, I've had a great trip, man. We had some stuff go wrong between me getting the ticket there for the stop sign incident. My wife broke her toe. I had a shark break my pedal drive. Thank God I brought this extra pedal drive here. Because you can't get them replacement fins right now. Everything's back ordered. So I broke that. I've got a little motor to come down here. It's tore up. I can't say it's tore up. It works part of the time. Like it's got a problem with the switch, I think. The reverse works all the time, no issues. The forward speeds only work part of the time. And right now, the slow speed forward, well, the last trip out that I tried it, the slow speed would work, the fast speed would not. So I don't know what's up with it. I guess it's probably a switch, but I mean, like, it's just been one thing after another on this trip. It just went wrong. But I've still, despite it all, man, I've had a good time. And we had, before the last couple days here, we had great weather. I've caught a bunch of fish. I've got some big sharks. Like, I've had a good time. My wife had a good time. She didn't want to leave today either, but we had to check out of the place we're staying today, and she's got to be back to work on Monday, so I just dropped her off at the airport on my way up, and she's probably, let me see what time it is now, she's probably almost home, truth be told. So it's a short flight. They've got direct flights from Knoxville to that Fort Lauderdale, Miami airport there. And it's cheap too, from Allegiant. It's like $100 and something. So, I mean, cheap flight. Takes a little over an hour. You can't beat it. In her situation, I mean, I had to drive because I had to kayak, but in her situation, she could ride down 12 to 14 hours with me, or just spend $100 and something and be down here in an hour, Oh crap, we're hung in something over here. Well, I guess we'll move on from this dock. I get this thing in. Oh, well, my line's up there. I don't know what the hell y'all have done here. My line's up there on this part of the dock. There it comes. Okay, there's our jig right there. I don't know how the hell y'all done that. Try to knock that thing down. There it goes. All right, we're in business. All right. Well, let's move along here, folks. We've made a lot of casts at that dock, caught some fish off of it. Let's move along and see if we can find another one just as good. But yeah, traveling down here, it doesn't take me a whole lot of gas to get down here. And of course, her flying a cheap flight there with Allegiant. It's just once you get down here, that's when the expenses start racking up. It's overpriced food. The hotel, when I first got down here, I spent 2 nights here up on the mainland before going down to the Keys. And it was reasonable, but down there in the Keys, everything's expensive. You're just paying a premium for being down there. So it's been fun though. That's what I was getting at. It's been an awesome trip nonetheless. I've enjoyed it. I've made some memories. It's just been a fun time. And I'll tell you something else too. This was the first year that I used I just got it a couple months ago, but I bought that spinning rod for the sharks, Ugly Stick Big Water. And I had a Daiwa BG 4500 size reel that Ed from Oklahoma, another one of my channel members, he had given me a few years ago. And I put that thing to work out there on them sharks, and I really loved it. I mean, I think I prefer fish. This one was another one, pretty good ways out from the bank. I think it's another bluegill. It is. He was a long ways out from the bank. He's all wrapped up in that line too. You look ridiculous right now, bluegill. me get that line out from under you. There's another one here that I think is more of a, either a northern or a hybrid of some kind. Boy, if it's a northern, he's good size, man. I swear I think bluegills start at 8 inches down here. You just don't catch them below that. Hell, you know why these things probably get so big? Them exotics probably eat the bluegill fry and keep them in check and keeps the population from getting stunted. So the ones that do survive have a chance to get big. And once they get 8 inches or so, hell, they probably don't have too many predators down here. Maybe largemouth bass. That's probably the only thing that could eat a 8-inch bluegill in here. Maybe a big peacock. But anyway, I tried out that spinning setup for the sharks, and I really like it. It's different. I mean, it's obviously a different feel than using the bait casters that I've used in years past. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. The rod's shorter. It's only 6 foot. And I was a little concerned initially with the line capacity of the 4,500 size reel. And I had a couple sharks that I was seeing the backing on my reel there. I had to take off after them. But, you know, in that situation, if a shark makes a long run and you got a lot of your line stripped off, you can just go chase it down in the kayak. Like, it's not like a situation where you're maybe fishing off the beach and you've had to run your line out a long ways just to place your bait, and then you have a run. Like, in that situation, you need a lot of line capacity. Them fellas that do the surf fishing there for the sharks, I mean, like, they have them huge, massive reels because they got to. But in our situation, that 4,500 size reel, it was perfectly adequate. It was perfectly fine. So I'm hoping to come back again sometime in January or February, whenever it's cold at the house. Although it's going to be cold when I get home. I'm out here in shorts and flip-flops today, but I'm going to regret not bringing shoes when I stop to get gas on the way home, because it's going to be in the 40s there at home. But in the winter at some point, January, February, when it's just miserable cold at home, I'm going to come back down and go to the Everglades. Apparently in the winter, all them sharks move in there. And I caught a bunch last year in the winter. It was January when I was down there. And so I want to do that again. But I'm probably going to go with the spinning rod setup when I come back. That'd probably be the only rod I bring as far as, you know, the heavy tackle goes. I brought more gear with me this time as far as fishing rods, just because I had planned on trying some stuff. But like, well, here's what I need. Here's what I need on this trip. I need my shark rod, obviously, just one of those, because I can't fish but one at a time. So one of those. I need my ultralight, because I want to stop off here. And I want to be able to fish in the canals and stuff, even in the saltwater. I want to do the canals, so I need my ultralight. And I need my bass rod. Well, it's essentially a bass rod, but I use it for skipjack and white bass back home. But just a medium heavy action bass rod for today. I mean, I've got that spoon tied on, but down there in the ocean, I was, oh, fish. Oh, that's another one that feels pretty good. That's another one that feels good, man. Oh, another big one. Another big one right here. Oh, buddy. This one's got some colors on him. These copper nose aren't the most beautiful fish by any stretch, but they do have more colors than a northern strain typically. It's usually more purple on them. Here, would you all bear with me a second while I get a picture of a bluegill. The sun's popping out. It's a good time to do it, if this fish will allow it. You think he will? Oh, I don't know if he will. Come here. Come here and act like somebody. I'm happier with you than you are with me. Well, he said hell with it. It ain't meant to be for us to get pictures today, folks. These fish, they ain't having it, buddy. Let me get that thing undone. But yeah, so as far as gear goes, I really only need 3 rods down here. My ultralight, the shark rod, and a just multi-use rod, let's call it, where I can throw the spoon if I'm out here in these canals. I could use it to throw a live shrimp on. I could troll a small plug with it. Like, you know, just some multi-use rod. That's all I really need to bring with me when you get right down to it. I need 3 rods with me. And as far as boy, that wind is whipping around right here right now. As far as like tackle and stuff goes, again, I don't need much for that either. I need my shark rigs, and I just tie up those before I leave the house. So I need those. We need some jig heads, and then just whatever artificial lures. You know, if I want to try a fish. If I want to try a plug or a barracuda tube or something like that. But that's all I need. 3 rods and 1 box for your tackle. That's it. Like, you don't have to have a lot of gear down here to have success and be able to fish for a variety of stuff. This is another northern strain here, and good one, buddy. I ain't gonna throw him on the board, but he's over 8 inches, I guarantee it. Let me get another worm here. Dump out some of that dirt. These are good quality worms. But yeah, like you can keep things simple. Now like I said, I had more gear with me this time because I was going to experiment and try some stuff. I also, you know, this year I had the motor, so I had to have the battery with that. I brought my power pole with me to try out down there in the Everglades, and that worked pretty well. So I mean, there's some gear like that extra that you got to carry, but like you don't have to pack every piece of tackle that you own, every fishing pole, rod and reel combo that you own to come down here. Like, you can keep it simple and be able to do a variety of things and catch a ton of fish. Like, you don't need to go out and buy a bunch of extra gear to come down here in Florida and fish. The only thing your gear you use, most of my audience is freshwater fishermen. The gear that you already have, your bass tackle, your ultralight rod, hell, you can use your catfish rods for the sharks. Now, it is nice having a little bit more stout rod than most catfish rods. Most catfish rods are going to be a little on the lighter side than what you'd want for the shark, but it's doable. Like, if you didn't want to buy a rod specifically for sharks, you could use one of your catfish rods. Hell, a few years ago when I hooked that big hammerhead, I'd done it on my signature series catfish rod, the Gollywhopper rod. I got that big hammerhead up to the side of the kayak with it. So, like, it's doable. Not necessarily the best tool for the job, but I mean, it's doable. So, you know, if you're thinking about traveling down here, or vacation, or just a destination spot type fishing trip, you know, don't save your money for the food that you're going to eat down here versus going out and buying tackle that you don't necessarily need, because the tackle you got is probably sufficient. Oh, it's sufficient to catch this. We have caught fish all the way down through here, folks. All the way down through here. We've gotten a bunch of bluegill. But I mean, we've gotten those exotics too. We got whatever it was that I never saw, or never got a good look at anyway. This is another one here I'd like to have a picture of, but he probably ain't going to allow it. Let's try it again, bluegill. All right, there he goes. Y'all tell him bye. We still got our worm on there too, so let's just keep casting. He flung water on my face. Did he get y'all? Did he throw water on the lens? No, y'all be looking good. Where we at on time? Lord almighty, we've been out here an hour and a half already, folks. Well, I can't fish much longer. I'm gonna give it maybe 30 more minutes. And I gotta get on the road, bad as I hate to. I'd love to just stay out here and do this all afternoon. But I gotta head north. Gotta go back to the frozen tundra of Tennessee. Even though it's gonna be 40-something degrees this week, it's still gonna be a shock to the system because I am fully acclimated to this 70 and 80 degree weather down here. And honestly, yesterday, when the wind was blowing real bad down there in Islamorada where we were at, it honestly felt kind of cold yesterday, and it was in the 60s. So I can only imagine when I get home and it's highs in the 40s, it is going to be a terrible shock to the system. Oh, something's right here. Something's right there splashing. Oh, he's over here behind us now. Oh, they're chasing something over here. Let me put this up right fast. Oh, he just hit me. I just got something right here as I was reeling it in. There's something over here busting beside me though. This thing's pulling whatever this is. I was gonna grab the spoon and throw at these busting fish behind us, but this thing nailed it on the way up. I don't know what it is, but it feels good. If it's a bluegill, it's a good one. I don't know what it is. I'm excited to see it though. The wind's kind of whipping around this dock right here. I'm wondering, oh, it's a peacock. It's a peacock. I bet that's what was busting those bait fish right there. Yes. Well, we got him on the worm. But it was again, as I was reeling it in, I was trying to reel it up real fast so we could make a cast, and he hit it. Nice. I do want a picture with this one for real. Okay. Get my camera set there. All right. Check that out, y'all. Nice peacock. All right, man. He gone. Okay, I'll tell you what I want to do. Because I think, most likely, that fish right there was in a school that was chasing those bait fish. Let's bust out the spoon for a second and make some casts through here. This is a sumo spoon. If you're new to my channel here, this is just a curved piece of metal with a hook. Catfish Sumo makes these. I got a link down in my video description there. These work excellent back home for skipjack and white bass, and I've caught peacocks on them down here. I've caught a bunch of saltwater fish on them, but I've just got a fluorocarbon leader, 15 pound, up to a swivel, and you definitely need a good quality ball bearing swivel if you're going to run these spoons, because they will get a lot of line twist if you don't. And this is 15 pound braid up here for my main line. And again, this is just a medium heavy action bass rod. You know what I ain't got on this rig though? I had this one. I had this set up for trolling. I had it set up for trolling, so I'm just running it weightless, just the spoon. When I'm casting like I am today, I like to put a little worm weight on there, like a 1/4 ounce, just to be able to cast it farther. Because it's a very lightweight lure. So we're not going to have very long casts, unfortunately. I should have rigged that up before I left. I don't have any worm weights out here in the kayak. All my gear's packed up in the truck. I've literally just got, I've got 2 rods with me, my camera bag, and some extra jig heads in my life jacket. That's all the tackle I got. It's all I need out here, which is one of the perks of doing this, and it's why, part of the reason why it's so much fun is because how simple it is, how little you need. But unfortunately, I do need a little extra weight. We'd have farther casts. We're gonna make this work right here. I'm just gonna cast it around, and when this thing's going through the water, it's spinning and flashing and vibrating, and looks like a bait fish that's on the run. And they were definitely chasing right out here, so. We'll make a few casts and see what we get. I may throw this thing down this canal here too a little bit too, since the way that wind is blowing, it's blowing out this canal, so we're probably gonna have a hard time working the ultralight down there, so we may just throw this spoon, go down there and make a few casts with it and turn around and come back out this way. I love them peacock bass. I've just been so sidetracked with the giant bluegill and the cichlids. I wish there was a lure or a bait that would just catch them all. You know what I mean? Like we could throw one thing and catch them all. But like the worms have done really good on them cichlids and the bluegill. And when I tried the shiners, which apparently a lot of the locals and the guides and stuff that fish for the peacocks, they use shiners a lot. Oh, something hit me. I hit it, he didn't hook up. That's what they use, and I had got some last time, but I didn't do any good with them. So, even throwing in the same places where I got all these bluegill, like I wasn't catching nothing on the shiners. So, I didn't get any coming out here today because honestly I just didn't want to pay for them. They're expensive. The shrimp down here, you can get live shrimp. Here on the mainland, it's like $4 a dozen. Down in the Keys, it's $6 a dozen. But the shiners here, I paid $16 a dozen for them that I got when I was out here a couple weeks ago. $16 a dozen for shiners. It's highway robbery. So, since I had done so poor, it'd be one thing if I had done well with them. On that last trip, I'd been more inclined to pay the price and get some more. But since I didn't do any good with them, I was like, I don't want to pay. And I got my bait tank put up too. It's not in a good position with the way I've packed to be able to get it. So we're just going to do the worms and the spoon. And we'll catch plenty enough fish on these 2 rods to keep us happy today. Hell, I'm going home happy now regardless. Coming back out here, getting them bluegill, getting the, I think they're cichlids. I think that's what they are. I'm going home happy today. Not as happy as I was on the way down, because when you leave your house to go on vacation, you've got hope and optimism. When you are done with vacation, you don't have anything to look forward to on the way home, it is a little bit sad. But as far as the trip overall, coming out here today, I'm glad we stopped and done this. I'm real glad. I had my reservations coming over here because of the wind. I wrapped it around that dock post too, didn't I? But I'm glad we've come today. Yeah, that wind is blowing right out of this canal here. Okay, let's turn around here. Here's what I want to do. This, with the way the wind is blowing, this side of the shoreline that we have fished is our best protection from it. Although there is another canal over there that we could, honestly, I don't want to take the time to run over there. With as little time as I've got left that I can fish, I don't want to run over there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back the way we came, and I'm going to throw this spoon some and see if we can work our way over there to that dock that we had the most success on with the bluegill and the cichlids. And since it's been a little while since we've stuck a fish over there, we'll go over there and see if we can get on some again, see what else we get on, and maybe bust something on the spoon on the way. The spoon is a good search lure. Now, I don't expect to necessarily get bluegill on it. I don't catch bluegill on these spoons back home. Well, I'm sure I have at some point, but it's not something I'm going to consistently go out and do. But it's a good search lure if you're looking for skipjack, if you're looking for white bass. Out here, obviously, we're looking for some peacocks right now. It's a good way to cover water quickly and pick off some active fish. And these spoons here too, you talk about a cheap lure. You go to the tackle shop, man, you go to Bass Pro, look around, God almighty, a lot of these lures today, crankbaits, spinnerbaits, hell, they're $10, $15. And don't even get me started on them swim baits that are, some of them, 50 plus. And glide baits, people paying $200 for glide baits. It's insane, the prices on some of these lures. But these spoons, man, 4-pack, they're like $12, $13. Might be cheaper than that right now with the holiday sales and stuff. You know, Catfish Sumo usually runs a Black Friday, Christmas sale this time of year. I ain't talked to Daniel in a while since I've been on vacation. So I don't know what's going on there with the sales and stuff, but regardless, you can get these either Catfish Sumo or you can get on Amazon and get them. And they're cheap, 4-pack for $12, $15. You can catch a bunch of fish. I like the white ones personally. That's the color I usually use. And eventually you'll catch enough fish, they'll knock the paint off of them. And then you've got you just a chrome silver spoon at that point, so which still works. I think it's starting, am I imagining that? Is it starting to sprinkle? I know they're supposed to get some rain today, but I ain't looked at radar. Thought it's supposed to be this afternoon, this evening. It certainly looks like it could rain any time. I think I'm going to hit some rain, some heavier rain, later on tonight as I get closer to Georgia and Tennessee. It's supposed to be some heavier rain working through. I can't remember, was it this dock right here we were catching all them fish, or it was the next one down, I think, maybe. I can't remember. I think this one was maybe it. I can't recall. We better bust out the worms here in a minute and make some casts around this thing, just in case it is. It's either this one or the next one. Still, I'm gonna throw this spoon a little bit. Throw right over there too. Just can't cast as far as what I'd like without that weight on there. That weight too, when you got that worm weight, not only gives you casting distance, but it helps it run a little deeper too. Okay, well, let's put this up for a second. And let's get our ultralight and throw a worm right here in front of this thing and see if we can bust something else. We're just gonna work this stretch right through here because again, the way the wind is blowing this way, we're perfectly shielded from it here. There's another canal over here behind us and to the left. I think we would probably be okay there too. But it's gonna take a little while to run over there if we were to go fish it, and I just don't. I want to fish longer, but at the same time, I don't want to fish longer because it's just gonna put me driving even later into the night. So we'll just throw around right in here and work this area. I mean, hell, we're getting plenty of fish right in here, and we've had a good variety. Bluegill, at least 2 different types of cichlids. We had the fish that come off that I couldn't identify, and a peacock. So, I mean, we've had some variety down through here. And some quantity. Like, it's been a productive session. But I would totally, man, if I was 4 hours away from here instead of 12 to 14, man, I would be here all the time. I would have this place dialed in. One of the things that I think would be fun, and I don't know if it'll ever work out for me to really do it or not, especially with me having kind of I have a catfish YouTube channel. I mean, that's the kind of content people expect from me. So when I do these Florida trips and stuff, I mean, it's kind of off-brand from what people are expecting and wanting. But it would be cool to do I don't even know how long it would necessarily be, but like do a road trip where I just go fish a different lake or river or creek or whatever, you know. Go fish a new one every day. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this right here. Actually, I better put it behind me or I'm gonna knock it off. Let's use the spoon now on the way down to the next dock. But yeah, just go on a road trip and just fish. Like say we were here in Florida, right? Like we'd spend a day here. I don't know, go down the Everglades, hit some canal down there, fish for a day. Lakes you come across on the way back, go hit those. Maybe hit a saltwater canal and just take the ultralight or take a rod like this with you. You know, one or two rods, some live baits, some cut baits, some artificials, and just go catch as many fish as you can, different species as you can. Just go out and go fishing for whatever will bite. I think that would be an awesome trip. But I don't know. I don't think it probably wouldn't perform very well on my channel, but from just a fun personal enjoyment perspective, I think it would be great. I may end up doing it at some point. It would be a commitment though, like you'd need to be gone for a while to really be able to hit. I mean, I guess you could do a morning and afternoon session, like go to one body of water, fish the morning, drive somewhere else, as long as they were reasonable proximity. So you might could hit multiple bodies of water. You could probably, I mean, depending on the location, you could probably hit at least 2 places in a day. But it would be an opportunity to explore some new places and just catch a bunch of fish and a bunch of different species. And I mean, y'all have seen me fish a bunch of different places through the years with the ultralight and the gulp minnows or ultralight and live baits. Doing that kind of thing, I mean, you're going to catch fish everywhere. So I'm confident I would be able to catch fish. But it's just a matter of making the time commitment to go do it. Probably be better to do something like that where you've got some places where I could catch some catfish too, just to work that in. Okay. Let's throw back in front of this dock now. One of these 2 docks, we were catching the hell out of some fish. I just can't remember which was which. I can't not recall. I should probably be making mental notes for future reference. Like, I know that one dock, when I first come out of the canal here to come into the upper portion of Lake Ida, that first dock it's had a bunch of fish on it every time I've been out here. But today it's super exposed to the wind. Like, it just ain't happening for us to fish over there. I tried it. I went over there first when I come out of that canal, but it's just fully exposed to the wind on that side of the lake. We really need to be over here where these houses can block part of this wind to be able to function well. Even like right now, it's going to be difficult to fill bites and stuff, but we've made the most of our time out here, y'all. This has been another good trip. I've enjoyed the whole thing. Time with my wife, me and her. Before she got down here, she couldn't do the whole trip because she had to work. So she flew down a few days. I'd already been down here a few days before she flew down. And while I was here by myself, I was able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Now, when she got here, obviously couldn't do that anymore, but I was still able to get out. I'd fish in the mornings, go out a few hours. I mean, that's how I do it back home anyway. I go out, at least when it's warm anyway. I'll go out a few hours in the mornings, catch fish, and then I got my whole afternoon. It's free for her, and that's kind of what we did. Me and her, we'd just go out and lay on the beach. That place we were staying at, it's got loungers and stuff out there, and nice big dock, and so we'd go out there and hang out and just enjoy each other's company. And so I was basically able to do it all, you know, fish in the mornings and hang out with her in the afternoons and evenings. The only downside of that is, you know, ideally you fishing out there in the ocean, especially from a kayak, you want to try to time the tides. And my situation, needing to spend time with her and stuff, I fish the morning, regardless of the tide, regardless of the current flow. Oh, he hit it as I was bringing it in. The least desirable species out here, the largemouth bass. Another species for us, but the least desirable. I thought we might catch some largemouth today, but honestly didn't have a great desire to. But yeah, ideally, you know, you would want to time the tides for kayak purposes so that you're not just fighting the worst of the current. But I still had a bunch of fish I was able to catch. So, like I said, I'm going home happy. I ain't going to be happy on the drive per se, but going home happy with how the trip has turned out. I took some time for me too, you know. I've filmed, I think there's like 6 videos now I filmed on this trip, but I took some me time too. Just fishing. I had the cameras out there in case something really cool happened, but like just making sure I got some me time. I mean, this is a vacation and all. I like to bring you all with me on the vacation, but it's, oh, he just hit it. Did you see that? He nipped it and he come back for it on the way up. Is that another bass? I think it's, oh, it's peacock. Another peacock right there. But he hit it as I was reeling it in. Interesting. Little peacock. Okay. The peacocks, they're around. You know what I kind of want to do right here? I kind of want to swim these worms a little bit. I think that's what I kind of want to do. We're going to throw these out. We'll throw it around the dock here and then really swim that thing back and see if we can't get some more peacocks like that. Got one. I went to pick up on it and he was already there. I didn't feel him bite. That's another one. I feel some head shakes. Another big bluegill, man. It's another big bluegill. Oh man, look at that. I love it. You know how hard it's going to be to go catch 5 and 6 inch bluegill again after I've been down here catching these. Like, don't get me wrong, the 5 and 6 inchers are fun on the Ultralight. They are. But not as much fun as the 8 to 9 inchers that we've gotten today. Oh, another one. There's more out in front of this dock too. Was it this dock we were getting them out in front of? Hell, I can't remember. No, this is the one that we moved on from pretty quickly because that guy had come out with the dogs. Hell, I can't remember. That right, bluegill. When a memory is made for me, it's immediately gone. Boy, he's got that thing perfectly hooked to go up the nostril, and it's going to be tough to get out. May have to use the forceps on this. Bear with us a minute here, bluegill. Give me that hook back, sir. Oh, I dropped him. Hold on. Hold on, sir. 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 There you go. He fling water all over y'all. He got me. He got me right in the face with that water. Okay. Well, he left the worm on for us at least. Let's go back over here and throw another cast in front of that dock. Okay. Yeah, I love it, man. I love ultralight fishing. I'm glad. Another one. This one's going to run too. He's going to take some line. Oh, buddy, he's got some pull now. I bet this is another one of those cichlids. If it's a bluegill, it's a good one. He's up under that dock. Y'all get him out from under there, would you? He's going to run our line over that dock post. Oh, come on, come out of there now. There he come. Y'all tell this fish to swim out away from the dock. Get him out here away from it. I'm pretty sure this is another one of those exotics. Okay, we've got him out here beside us now. Probably going to use the net on this one. If one of y'all would net this thing for me, you'd be a damn good fishing partner. Oh, it is. It's a big one. It's a big one. Yes. Oh, man, look at this. Oh, it's another cool looking fish. Their mouths, they got like a little, I wouldn't call them teeth, but kind of nubs, I guess, down in there. It's like it's a rough texture, but it's not like sharp, not like sharp teeth. There we go. Here, let me do this one again, folks. Here, let me try to get a picture of this thing too. All right, there he is for y'all to see. Look at all them colors on him there. The lighting out here is terrible, I know, but he's got some blue, some green, orange, red. Man, that is a cool fish. Not entirely certain what he is, but he's cool. All right. Let me put us another worm on, and we shall make another cast. These fish are out in front of the dock. That makes it so much easier than casting up under there. But yeah, I was getting ready to say, I'm so glad I never really became I wouldn't call, I guess what, like a fish snob? I mean, I guess I kind of am with the catfish, right? Because like I like blues, I like flatheads, I don't really care for channels. But I mean, just fishing in general, like I'm pretty well content catching whatever. Like some of my bass fishing friends back home, like they want to catch bass, largemouth, smallmouth. That's all they care about. If it's not a largemouth bass or smallmouth bass, they don't care. There we go again. Just like that, we're hooked up. I think this one's a bluegill though. They are just all in there together. The bluegill and them exotics are all in there together. Come up here, buddy. Oh, it's another good one. Another good one right there. Another copper nose. Here, let me, just one more time here, folks. One more time. All right, there he is for y'all. Oh, goodness. And there he goes. Ornery things. Man, they're ornery. Well, let's spin. I thought that was somebody hollering at me. There's a bird down there. But yeah, my bass fishing friends, for instance, like they only care about bass. That's it. They don't want to catch crappie. They don't want to catch catfish, bluegill. You know, they're above it. It's bass or nothing. And I'm glad I've never been like that. Like, yes, I primarily fish for catfish. But I fish for a lot of species, and I'm happy to catch a bunch of different species. You know, like it really just opens up so many more opportunities. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, the bass fishing back home, those guys, a lot of them do well. But the bass fishing at home is not like bass fishing in Texas or here in Florida or California, where people are catching 8 to 10 pounders and bigger on the regular. Back home, if somebody catches a 7-pounder, boy, that's a trophy. I mean, I know people that's got 7-pounders hanging on their wall. Down here, hell, Florida, Texas, California, somebody catches a 7-pounder, it's a Tuesday for them. Like, it just ain't a big deal. So, thankfully I was into bass fishing, especially as a teenager. But thankfully I never, let's see what this one is. Another bluegill. Bluegill, you're lucky I never got just obsessed with bass fishing, or else I wouldn't be down here catching you right now. And this bluegill, he's saying, hell, I wish this guy was obsessed with bass fishing so that he wouldn't be putting a hook in me right now. That's what he's saying. Nice, man. Man, that's nice. All right. Well, folks, here's what I want to do. I'm going to put the ultralight up for a second. And I'm going to bust out the spoon. And I just want to run down this bank. According to the camera here, we've been at it for 2 hours, so yeah, I need to get on the road. I'm going to throw this spoon, though. I want to throw this spoon down this bank here before we take off. And let's just see if we can get a peacock to eat this spoon. I could sit out here and catch these bluegill and these exotics all day, man, but I'm unfortunately, I need to get on the road. So let's just see if we can bust a peacock one time in this stretch of bank here before we make the turn. We'll do it down here to that house on the corner. Once we get down there, there's another little canal that goes up in there, so we'll be exposed to the wind again coming down that way. We'll just work our way down through here. Who knows? We may bust a big peacock on the spoon. I caught some on the spoon last year. When I was my first day down here a couple weeks ago, I just didn't spend much time throwing a spoon. I was doing so good with the ultralight and having so much fun, I didn't throw the spoon very much. If we went around this whole lake, though, throwing this thing, I promise you we'd catch a bunch of fish. I don't know if we're going to catch any in this 100-yard stretch right through here. But you spend enough time throwing a lure like this that just acts like a small bait fish that's on the run, that's separated from its school. You spend enough time throwing it, you're going to get bit. All them birds up there in people's yard. I don't even know what kind of birds them are. Them other two, though, they're coming over to investigate. They're trying to make friends. You just see so much wildlife. I actually do, though. I think you see more birds here on the mainland in this part of Florida than what you do down in the Keys, on the islands there. I mean, sure, there's some birds around, especially the pelicans. Them things, man. Anywhere there's fish going on the bank, man, there's some pelicans trying to get baits and stuff. But as far as like the the wild birds and everything. I see more here on the mainland of South Florida than I do down on the islands. Lots more iguanas up here too. I saw some iguanas down in the Keys, but out here in people's yards and stuff, you see them walking around all the time. If I'd been paying closer attention, I'm sure we've probably passed by some today. They may not be out as much today because of the cooler temperatures. It's still warm, but a little bit cooler than it has been, and of course overcast today. So how would you like living next to this person? They got a damn radio tower they've built right there in their backyard. All of these houses are probably over $1 million, and you retire down here and you got somebody with that contraption. You look out your back window and you're looking at that. It's just amazing how much houses go for down here, and I've looked into it some, and the price for the size of the house is insane. Then you throw in the HOA fees, the property taxes. It's, man, I mean, you pay a premium to live down here, that's for sure. Now, thankfully, they don't have a state income tax here. That's nice. It's the one reprieve they give you down here in Florida, no state income tax. But I don't have that in Tennessee either, so. But we got way cheaper insurance, way cheaper property taxes. Where I live, I'm out in the county, so I don't have any HOA fees, of course. Yeah, we're going to be back in the wind. I see the trees rocking over there on that canal. We're going to be all up in the wind when we get over here. So if one of these peacocks, they want to play, they better get on it fast here. Well, I would have bust one here down this retaining wall, though. You just never know where fish are going to be out through here. I've caught them both on the upper and lower portions of this lake, but I've done better on the upper portion here than I have on the lower. Now, we couldn't fish the lower today with the wind how it is. It's just too exposed out there. Well, fiddlesticks. Make a few more casts right here, and we're gonna wrap it up, folks. We gave Florida the college try, man. We done all we can do down here in the 2 weeks that I've been here. It's been an amazing 2 weeks. It's flown by. I mean, the time has absolutely flown by. Did something just swirl on my bait over there? I think something swirled on it. Let's throw right back over there. There was a commotion right there on the water. Let's make a few more casts right here. Sure would like to end this on a fish, but it don't look like it's going to happen. I actually got a little reprieve from the wind right here too at the moment, so Let's fish down this bank just a little bit further. Since it ain't cranking right here at the second. Let's just work our way right through here. I want to fish longer, y'all. I don't want to leave. I do, but I don't. I want to get on the road and knock out as much of this drive as I can tonight. I want to make it to at least Georgia tonight. I'd like to, I guess Valdosta. It's kind of right there on the border of Florida and Georgia. I'd like to at least make it there, but if I could get farther than that, that would be great. I'd like to knock out most of the driving today and have less tomorrow, assuming I get a place tonight to stay, which I probably will, because as late in the day as it is, I got 12 hours from here, assuming no traffic or construction or anything. That's going to put me home in the middle of the night. My wife's plane didn't leave till noon, and so we left the place in Islamorada a little after 8. Got her to the airport a little after 10, because I figured with the holiday, Thanksgiving weekend traffic and all, might be more people at the airport flying and stuff, so I wanted to make sure she could get through security and get to her plane and everything. And then I come on here right after, well, I stopped at Walmart to get our worms and then came over here. But ideally, it'd been nice if she'd had an earlier flight, but when you're doing them cheap Allegiant flights, they usually fly out on certain days and times of the week, and they fly back on certain days and times of the week, so you kind of at their mercy. Perk of the cheap price, they can kind of more dictate their schedule, I guess. Yeah, we were more protected down through this side than what I thought we were going to be. We could have worked the worms down through here too and functioned just fine. I see the trees really blowing over there on the other side of the bank, but right in here right now, we're more shielded than I thought right here. There's the wind. Okay, there it hit me. Maybe it just switched or swirled there a little bit. All right, let's make a few more casts right in here. Somebody, they're building a house right here, remodeling or something. If one of y'all want to go ahead and just buy that for me, that'd be great. I could totally live here. I'm gonna need some help with the bill, but I could totally, from a personal enjoyment standpoint, I could totally be happy living here. There's the wind. I'm not even pedaling right now, y'all. Look how fast it's moving us. It is whipping now. At least the way it's blowing, I'm gonna get back to the car much quicker than what it took me to get up here. Like I said though, with this Hobie Lynx, there's a lot of positives about it. But you do get blown around very easily in the wind. Doesn't take a fast wind to get you really moving. All right, we're making one more cast. Final cast of the Florida Adventure 2025. Anything, nothing. Well, we done all we could do, folks. We done all we could do. It's been fun. Let's go get the kayak loaded up and head north. right, we made it back. Would be so much more convenient to park right there, but we don't have a trailer. So we gotta go take up one of these spaces over here at the dog park. Well, folks, I've had a blast, but that's a wrap on the Florida trip. Thanks for coming with me on this adventure. I'll see you in Tennessee.